You could probably see that I'm pretty burnt right now. Actually, with the lighting that I've got around me, it doesn't look too bad. But I want to talk about one really quick thing, which I think about all the time, which is the ability to put your effort and energy and focus into one thing, and that being so much more productive than having all this energy and not knowing where to put it. You see, I want to talk about the kind of experience I had right before I got into high ticket sales, and what's so different about now being in it and doing it for now over a year. Look, if you don't have time to understand what the process is like to go from being a complete beginner and never doing sales to now being at a point where you're earning great money, you're focused, you're running your own schedule, you can travel, then maybe this isn't the video for you, right? If you don't have the attention span to hear what it was like for someone like me, who had never had any like real full-on help with it until I got my mentors, then maybe it's not for you. But if you do want to understand what the process is like, so you can understand what to focus on earlier, so you can make more progress, make more money, be more happy and successful at a much earlier age and much younger earlier point, then maybe it is the video for you. What I want to talk about is, I remember when I was reading some of my notes, I have a lot of them here. One of the most, one of the number one things I was most frustrated with when I was just getting into this like self improvement, make money space was that I didn't know what to focus on. Like genuinely, it was one of the toughest parts because I knew there were so many business models out there. I knew there were so many things that I could try, but they all seemed to have their own pros and cons, and I didn't know how to start any of them. And all I wanted to do was work, right? I watched motivational videos about how you should grind and work and hustle and stay inside and say no to those parties. Well, I was saying no to those parties, but I didn't have anything to work on, right? I was in high school and I'd say, no to parties. Sometimes I maybe wouldn't get invited, but I didn't really have an alternative. I saw like I was home being that productive. I'd play video games or go to the gym. And although maybe sometimes that's okay, and I started playing less video games and going to the gym more, I didn't really make money or learn that much besides read some books. And this is the one cool thing about sales. You see, sales is the kind of, it's called like a macro skill, in my opinion, right? There's a million micro skills that play into what sales is. I'll give you a couple, for example, presentation skills. So being able to be clear, concise, being able to custom tailor what you sell to the prospect's needs perfectly, right? Presentation, listening, right? So you get really, really, really good at close listening. Every single word you pay attention to, what order they put it in, right? Their tonality, their cadence, listening as well. Question asking, right? Or problem finding slash solving. That's a really, really big one, right? So actually being able to ask questions that can reveal more and more and more and more information. You go from 1 minute ago, the person tells you, oh, my job is okay, to 5 minutes later, they tell you it's something that they don't see themselves doing for another 3 months, or else they're going to be in the hospital because it's so hard. You see, if you ask the right questions, you can learn that information. These micro skills of presentation and listening and asking questions and a million more things make up the macro skill of sales. And this is the coolest thing about it. That's all I'm trying to get to. My whole point is right here, so don't click off the video. Sales allows you to learn a lot of things and get really good at a lot of things in one. What this means is that if you ever have an extra 2 hours and you have the goal of making more money, then you just need to get better at sales. That's it. Like, of course, spending time like applying and getting better jobs is important, right? Being on an offer that's easier to sell, that has better results and stuff like that is very important. But besides that, you could sit down for 2 hours and you could review your calls or listen to closers that are better than you, or you can just go ahead and watch courses or go to coaching calls and buy a mentorship and simply get better at all of those skills. That's the coolest thing, right? Obviously, with other businesses, it's similar. You sit down and you just work on the business, and there you deal with problems and you solve them, and this develops a skill set, right? You're able to identify them sooner, fix them earlier, get faster at solving them, and then you kind of optimize. But in sales, it's more so, it's the exact same thing, but you have the exact same conversation thousands of times. You begin to master it, right? You begin to have the same conversation that earns you a lot of money really well and really effectively and efficiently, right? And this is all I want to get to. If you're somebody who knows you have time, like this summer, right, or next summer, this fall, doesn't matter when, you have an extra 2 hours a day. Maybe you have 5 hours a day. Maybe you have even more than that, right? You have time, and all you do with it is watch videos like this for some reason, or you read books that don't really get you any further, and you genuinely have goals of making money and being successful and providing for your family and living a better life. Then I promise you, you're not going to get that life by just reading books or watching these videos. It will not happen. You need to go and do some work and get good at something and provide some kind of value. And for me, being on sales calls provides value for the business owner who actually owns and sells the offer. So this is really my whole big pitch in a way to encourage guys who are young and who know that they have time and energy and focus to put it into something like sales so that they can develop a million micro skills, get extremely good at the macro skill of sales and make a ton of money and go apply it to other businesses. You see, the whole time you do this, not only do you get good at sales, but you develop confidence. You get a network of other people. You begin to put money in your pocket, that way you can invest. You really develop a lot of things outside of just sales, right? Which just makes your life better. And also the coolest thing about sales is it's just communication. Meaning you can go ahead and talk to that girl on the street or talk to your family members or literally just order a pizza and you'll always do it effectively, confidently, happily, and oftentimes you know how to get your way, right? But that's just kind of added bonuses. That's really what sales is, especially when you spend so much time dealing with people's excuses and limiting beliefs to be able to make the sale. You start to get good at dealing with your own limiting beliefs and your own excuses because you do it all day, right? So sales is like this really cool way of just getting better at everything in life in a way. That's why I'm so passionate about it. I think if anybody wants to learn from me personally, or at least join a Discord, I'll put a Discord below. I'm building it out with 2 other closers. It's going to be massive. It's a great place to roleplay, get job opportunities, learn the skill, even if you've had zero experience in your entire life. And for the second option, there's a form going to be below. If you want to work with me personally and like have me hold your hand over the next couple of months as you learn the skill, feel free to apply. You don't have to get started, right? But if you're interested and you want to have a conversation with me, feel free to fill it out. It's completely free. And we can talk about next steps and what that would look like. Otherwise, guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you remember, go find something, put your heart into it, and you'll get very far, right? If that's sales, let me know below. Actually vote with your actions. Otherwise, you can like if you like the video, if you got anything from it. Subscribe to see way more videos like this. I'll be putting in higher effort soon. I want to make like nice edited videos very, very soon. And comment if you got any questions. I reply to all my comments. Thanks so much, guys. Talk to you soon.